In this video, we're going to look at the order of operations. First, let's look at these four operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now, we are familiar with the symbols plus sign, minus sign, and the cross for multiplication, and this division symbol for division in elementary school. But for multiplication and division, we have several ways to describe them. So besides the cross symbol, we could also use the dot. For example, 5 times 3, I could put a dot between them. Or you can use a pair of parentheses for both numbers or one of the numbers, as long as we separate these two numbers. Because if we don't have parentheses, it's just 5 and 3 together, everybody will think that's 53. But if we put parentheses to separate them, and what we mean is it's 5 times 3. So either this way or this way. Omitted. Sometimes we omit the multiplication symbol. But of course, for both numbers, we cannot do that because there's a confusion and it could be 53. But if we have letters, variables, for example, 3x, y, we could omit the dot or the parentheses, because when we put them together, 3xy, and there's no confusion. We don't think this is a number 300xy. So we agree that's 3 times x times y. The other thing for the multiplication symbol, the cross symbol, we often use in elementary school for numbers, is avoided in algebra class, because in algebra we have variables like x, y, z, and the cross symbol is often confused with the letter x. Because, for example, this symbol right here could mean x, could mean times. So does this mean 3 times y, or does this mean 3 times x times y? So that's why in algebra we try to avoid the cross symbol. Use the dot or use the parenthesis. Or you can omit it when there is no confusion. So now for the division symbol, we have these four. The commonly used one in elementary school is the first one. And the second one is for fraction, like 5/7, 5/7. But it can also mean division, because 5/7 means 5 divided by 7. Or you can use the slash. So following the order, the top number goes first, 5 divided by 7. Or we could use this symbol. So this symbol is often used when we do long division. And so we could have 5 divided by 7. But remember, the first number 5 goes in the box, and 7 goes on the outside the box. So in the 5th grade, we learn how to do long division. This is the symbol we use. And the other situations, when we have a mix of different operations, for example, 6 minus 2 divided by 3. And we have to specify the order. And so normally, we would consider division before subtraction. But if the division symbol is a horizontal line, like the fraction symbol, we actually consider the top, everything on the top, they're together. Everything on the bottom are together. So even though we don't have parentheses, we think of the top as everything like bound together in a pair of parentheses. So we actually have to work out everything in the top and everything in the bottom before we do this division. So let's take a look at the order of operations. We have the following rule: PEMDAS. An easy way for us to remember is to read it as PEMDAS. Or you can remember this sentence: please, P please, excuse E, my multiplication, dear division, and addition, Sally subtraction. So either way, you can use this to help you memorize the order of operations. Because when we have a mixed operations, we need to know which operation we should do first. So P parenthesis first. E means exponent. and M and D, multiplication, division, although we usually put M in front of D, they have the same priority. So whichever you see first will go first. And you don't have to do multiplication before division. So they have the same priority. And same thing for addition and subtraction. They have the same priority. Again, whichever goes first. All right, so let's look at some examples here. So first of all, we have to remember we always work from left to right. And this is the rule. And multiplication, division have the same priority, and addition, subtraction have the same priority. So in this example, 8 minus 3 plus 5, although when we write the rule, we sort of like saying we have to say something first, right? So we usually say multiplication before division, but remember, and it doesn't mean multiplication goes before division. They have the same priority. So we're going to just follow the left to right order. So we see subtraction first, we do subtraction. If you see addition first, you do addition. So in this case, I do 8 minus 3, which is 5. Plus 5, which gives us 10. So similarly, we have 8 divided by 2 times 3. So if you see division before multiplication, you just do division first. So again, left to right order. And so 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12. All right, now let's look at some more examples. So I put the rule here. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So I cross out the E, exponent, because the examples here I have today will not have any exponents. We will talk about those later. So following the order, P parentheses go first. So we're going to see here we have 2 pairs of parentheses. So we need to work this one out, whatever in the parentheses first. And you can also work this one out the same time in the same step. So 12 minus 5 is 7. And 18 minus 10 is 8. So let's work out these two. So we got 6 times 7. 7 comes from the operation in the parentheses. And minus 3 times 8. This 8 comes from what's in the parentheses. The other thing we need to notice is between 6 and the parentheses, there's nothing. And if you remember, we just talked about the multiplication can be omitted if we have a pair of parentheses. But once I work out what's in the parentheses, I did not use the parentheses symbol. You can if you don't want to use the dot, because I think the dot is easier to write. I just switched from parentheses to dot. But if you want, you can keep 7 in the pair of parentheses, then you don't need a dot. So same thing here. Between 3 and the parentheses, that's multiplication. So I changed parentheses to the dot. And now let's work out the multiplications. So now we have multiplication and subtraction and multiplication. Remember, we have to do multiplication before subtraction. So let's multiply 6 times 7, 42. 3 times 8, 24. So work out both of them. Finally, we're going to do subtraction. So 42 minus 24, that gives us 18. All right, in the second example, and we have these two fraction symbols that represent a division. So we're gonna, but this symbol, because it separates top and bottom, so we have to work out the top. So top is considered all bound together. Bottom is all bound together. So let's work out the top. 17 minus 8. Although the rule says division should go before subtraction, because this division symbol is treated differently. Again, separates top and bottom. So we think of the top are inside a pair of, the tops are inside a pair of parentheses. So we do 17 minus 8, which gives us 9, and 35 minus 15, which gives us 20. So we can do both of them in the same step. If you want to slow down and try to work out 9 in the first step and 20 in the second step, you can do that. And now we're going to do division, because division does go before. So this horizontal line represents division. It does go before addition. So we do 9 divided by 3, which gives us 3, and 20 divided by 4, which gives us 5. So 3 plus 5 gives us the final answer of 8.